All right, a huge welcome to all you future information systems pros. If you're just starting your BSIS journey, you are in the perfect spot. We've put this whole thing together just for you to really help you get the lay of the land in this incredible world you've just entered.
So, this is the big question, right? You see these letters, CS, IT, IS, thrown around all the time, and it can get kind of confusing. But trust me, by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what makes your IS degree so unique and honestly, so valuable.
But before we start tearing things apart, let's talk about what actually brings us all together. And that's this big idea of computing. It's so much more than just the machine itself. It's about using that machine to solve a problem to get something done. That's the foundation we all stand on.
All right, let's jump in. To really get a handle on your role, you got to see the whole universe you're a part of first, you know? You've got to meet the other key players on the field.
And honestly, this is the absolute best way to picture it. It's not a competition about which one's better. It's about which hero has the right superpower for the job at hand. And your superpower? Well, it's one of the most in-demand ones out there.
Okay, so let's meet this super squad. We're going to do a quick roll call of the core members so you can see exactly where everyone, and most importantly you, fits into the lineup. First up, we've got the computer engineers. Think of them as the architects. These are the folks who design and build the actual physical hardware. We're talking everything from a tiny chip to a whole computer. They build the stage we all play on.
Next, we have computer science, or CS. These are the inventors. They're all about the deep theory, the algorithms. They're literally discovering new ways for computers to solve problems. They write the science that makes the magic possible.
Then there's information technology, or IT. Let's call them the medics. These are the people on the front lines, keeping everything running, locking down the infrastructure, and providing that absolutely essential support to users. They keep the patient alive, day in and day out.
And that brings us to you. Information systems, the strategists. You are the critical bridge. You get the tech, for sure, but you also get the people and the business goals. You're the one who connects all the dots to create real value.
Okay, so let's zoom in on that. What does being an information systems strategist actually mean? What is this superpower that makes your role so incredibly important? It really all comes down to this definition right here. Notice the key words, people and organizations. See, your focus isn't just on the hardware or the software. It's about how that whole network of tech actually serves a bigger purpose for people. And this is what your classes are all about. Look at this stuff. Foundations, data management, strategy, architecture, project management. You see, you're not just learning to code in a vacuum. You are learning how to think like a strategist. And from those classes, you build your strategic toolkit. These are the things you'll actually do. You'll walk into a company and figure out how to improve their processes, find the right tech, define what they actually need, and then design the whole system to make it happen. It's a really powerful set of skills. All right, let's put this into practice. Section 4, IS versus the world. Now that you know your superpower, let's see how your strategic role stacks up, head-to-head against the other disciplines. Okay, IS versus CS. It really boils down to the questions they ask. A CS major is asking, what's the most efficient way to compute this? It's a technical, theoretical question. But you, in IS, you're asking, how can this system actually improve our business? It's a totally different mindset. One's about theory, the other is all about application.
And this table, wow, it just lays it all out there, doesn't it? Look at this. Defining requirements, IS gets a 5 out of 5, CS gets a 2. But then, flip it. Proving theoretical results, that's a 5 for CS. This shows exactly where your strengths lie, understanding people and business needs.
Okay, now let's look at IS versus IT. Again, different questions, different focus. IT is asking, how do we keep the network secure and running right now? It's about the immediate, the operational. You're thinking bigger picture, you know? What systems do we need for the next 5 years to win?
And again, the data just proves it. Look at this. IS scores a 5 on designing the enterprise architecture. That's the big picture plan. IT scores a 5 on the hands-on stuff, like installing software and training users. They're the architect of the battle plan. They're the special forces making it happen on the ground. You need both. So, where does this all lead? Section 5, your future career path.
With this killer combo of business smarts and tech skills, what kinds of doors does an IS degree actually open for you?
Well, these jobs are pretty much made for you. Notice the words: analyst, specialist, consultant, manager. These aren't just technical roles. These are positions that demand strategic thinking. They need that person who can be the bridge, who can translate between the techies and the execs.
But here's the cool part. Your degree doesn't lock you in a niche. It actually makes you super versatile. You'll be in the running for a ton of high-demand jobs right alongside CS and IT grads. Think about a role like cybersecurity analyst. You bring that crucial business context that others might miss.
So, as you kick off your journey, I want you to hold on to this one idea. Technology is the tool, but strategy is the key. Anyone can learn to use a hammer. You are being trained to be the architect who decides where to build the house. The big question for you isn't just what will I learn, it's what massive problems am I going to solve? Now go get them.